Okay, teardown review time. This is the Robosmart wireless LED smart light. It basically uses a smartphone to control its operation. A whole bunch of bulbs like this showing up now in the marketplace. This sort of concept of mating a smartphone and being able to control light bulbs. What makes this bulb interesting and unique is that there's no gateway. If you look at the Philips Hue product line or the connected TCP product line, you always have to have another box and you have to put it into your Wi-Fi network. This bulb basically is controlled directly through Bluetooth 4.0 stack to the bulb, so you just need these two components. So as always, I'll take a look at the performance of the bulb and tear it down. Okay, so here it is in the most basic operation mode. I have an iPod here and of course the bulb. And as you expect, you can turn the bulb on and off through this interface. And of course you can do other slightly more sophisticated things such as dimming the bulb. And it goes a bit deeper. You have the ability to set a timer function, so if you're looking for like a security light, you can turn on and off at a certain time per day. I presume that's of course implying there's probably a processor inside the bulb which has a real-time clock. And it's got some other interesting features where you can actually walk away from the bulb. I presume it senses the loss of the Bluetooth signal, and then it'll fade on. And I believe also it'll actually turn on when you get close to the bulb, so presume that if you have a garage, for example, you could screw a bulb into it, and it would sense when the phone's coming or going. So, at the most basic level, this is kind of the operation mode that all these bulbs seem to have, this ability, sort of a neat level of control to the bulb. Okay, so one of the real challenges of this bulb is I think they picked a Bluetooth 4.0 stack to control it. And that's pretty unusual hardware, so you're sort of limited to essentially the latest generation of Apple products and a really small number of Android phones. I think there's like 3 models listed when you go onto their website, which is of course a bit baffling actually. I'm not entirely sure why they would have picked Bluetooth 4.0 and really limited the number of phones that could control the bulb. So unless everyone in your family has absolutely the state-of-the-art phone, they simply won't be able to turn the lights on, so it seems like a miss to me. So in terms of flicker, I have a light bulb here shining upon a solar cell, and then when I take a look at an oscilloscope, I can get some sense as to whether the bulb has any flicker on it. And in this case, no actually. This is a fairly high frequency, it's like 70 kilohertz. I presume it's the controlling frequency of the bulb. And as I dim the bulb down, you can see of course the waveform, its intensity decreases, which of course is consistent with lower light levels. But the presence of flicker isn't seen here. So the bulb is dimmable through its application, but should you put this bulb into an electric circuit which has a dimmer on it, it basically malfunctions. So again, this is kind of the challenge with this kind of a wireless remote bulb. If you don't have a smartphone on you, it's hard to control the bulb because you essentially have to always have a phone. Okay, so here's some text on the packaging. It says it emits the same light pattern as incandescent bulbs. And that's a good claim. In fact, something I've been measuring a lot and all the bulbs have been tearing down. A polar graph showing the intensity of the light. This kind of pattern where you get a bit of light firing down from the bulb like this, and the side and the top actually is consistent with a incandescent light bulb, so it's good. It seems though on this lobe here it was slightly less, on this lobe here slightly greater, so I suspect if I was to plot a polar graph on this axis, it probably wouldn't be consistent around that. But certainly this is quite a usable light pattern. In terms of efficiency, the bulb claims to produce 450 lumens. It's consuming just a little bit over 5 watts, so that would be about 90 lumens per watt, which definitely would be pretty state-of-the-art. And if you dim it down with the application, you can of course see that the power draw decreases. Okay, well the bulb seems to do what it's claimed on the packaging. I bought this out of Fry's Electronics. It's a distributor that's mainly in the western United States. I am not going to tear the bulb apart yet because I actually still want to play with it a little bit. It's kind of a pretty smartly looking little bulb, and just give it a little run out in my home here before I tear it down.